You know a movie did something right when they can bring their audience to tears. Now, I'm not trying to ruin your day or make you guys sad or anything, but let's give it up for the movie scenes that were able to do this. Today on Beyond the Screen, we are talking about the top 10 saddest movie scenes of all time. I promised myself I would not cry, and I plan on withholding that. I'm your host for this one. I am Joss Bedard. Thanks for coming back to Top 10 Beyond the Screen. We really appreciate you guys sticking around during this time that we are filming from home. Make sure you guys stick around to the end because I will be shouting out some of your comments. You might even see a few bloopers. You never know. And come say hi to us outside of YouTube. Our social media links are down below. But for now, guys, I just can't keep prolonging it. We gotta get to the sad scenes. Kicking off this list, number 10 is A Star is Born. This movie literally broke my heart in 2018. I bawled my eyes out in the movie theater. And then when I left and I went home, I literally just cried all night. It was so sad. It shook me. If you haven't seen it, the entire last act of the movie is completely devastating. We see the couple, Allie and Jackson, struggle, but they do stay devoted to each other. But in the end, Jackson isn't able to overcome his personal demons, and he kills himself in their home garage while Allie is singing and performing at her concert. Their dog is seen howling outside of the garage door and is just left there completely helpless. I promise you guys, it is absolutely crushing. Then to end the movie off, Lady Gaga, who plays Allie, sings this beautiful, touching song called I'll Never Love Again, and it literally leaves you with goosebumps and your face just full of tears. It's so beautiful and sad at the same time. Up next, number 9 is Castaway. Yes, I am talking about the scene when Chuck loses Wilson, the volleyball, aka his best friend. Throughout the iconic movie, we see Chuck, who is stranded on an island for years, become best friends with a volleyball who he calls Wilson. I know it sounds silly, like I get it, but when you're isolated and alone, you will probably create a bond with anything you can. The volleyball was almost like a pet to him. He had a very close bond to it, and the moment we saw them get separated was completely devastating. I had no idea that a volleyball would be able to mess me up so bad. In the scene, Chuck is woken up on his draft by a whale's blowhole sway. Wilson was tied to a mount when he fell asleep, but he notices that he is gone. He starts to call out his name and sees Wilson floating away in the water. In a desperate attempt, he tries to swim after Wilson, but the water is so rough, and he realizes if he lets go of the rope, he loses his raft, and if he hangs on, he loses Wilson.
Well done! Well done!
It's in that moment that we realize just how much Wilson means to him and that it was more than just a volleyball. Cruising into number 8 comes from the movie My Dog Skip. If you've seen this movie, then you already know exactly what scene I'm probably referring to. The movie shows a special bond that a dog named Skip has with his owners, especially a young boy named Willie. From the time he was young, Skip watches him grow up and even protects him from some of his bullies. He also plays matchmaker at one point, helping him form new relationships in his life. To sum it up, this dog was his best friend. And if you haven't seen it, you can probably figure out what I'm gonna say is the dog Skip dies.
He and my mama wrapped him in my baseball jacket. They buried him out under our elm tree, they said.
When Willie grows up and leaves to go to Oxford University, Skip stays with his parents, and in a horrible scene to watch, he dies of arthritis while lying in Willie's old bedroom. Honestly, I just think any animal or pet dying in a movie is the saddest thing in the entire world. Moving on to number 7 is Pay It Forward. I first saw this movie in elementary school. I vividly remember all of us piling into the gym and watching this movie on a huge projector screen. Now, the movie does have a tear-jerking scene, but it also has a very powerful message behind it. So our teachers weren't trying to like scars for life. There was a point to it. The story is about a young boy named Trevor who comes up with the idea that ends up changing people's lives. He decides that instead of returning a favor, he's going to pay it forward instead by doing good deeds for 3 people. But this sweet little boy ends up getting killed. He sees another kid getting bullied, so he intervenes and tries to fight them off, and in the process, one of them stabs him and he unfortunately dies. I know this movie was supposed to teach me a very valuable lesson about paying it forward, but I remember at the time I was thinking like, the nice kid just got killed. So maybe I don't want to be nice. In spot number 6 is from Avengers Infinity War. I know for a fact that every Marvel fan cried during this scene, but you don't even have to be a Marvel fan for this one to hit you in the feels. At the end of Infinity War, Thanos snaps and has half the population turned to dust, Spider-Man being one of them. Everyone who vanished was ultimately a sad moment, but the thing that really got the audience was when Spider-Man was saying goodbye to Mr. Stark. The two of them have always had this best friend, father and son bond, so to see Spider-Man so scared and helpless and Mr. Stark couldn't do anything to save him, it was just so rough to watch. There's just no way that you can't feel some kind of emotion from this. Even if you're not into hero movies. This shit is sad. We're halfway through number 5 and we have the heartbreaking death that happens in The Lion King. I don't care what you say. You will not convince me that this scene did not make you cry both times as a kid and as an adult. And I'm not crazy, I actually asked some of my fellow hosts that I work with and they also agreed that they cried as an adult. Nothing was more heartbreaking as a child than witnessing Scar murder Mufasa practically in front of Simba's little innocent eyes. And then to see him lie about it and act like it was like a natural accident.
Long live the king.
Honestly, this might have been our very first heartbreak, you guys. Like, we probably all faced this heartbreak together at one point in time. No wonder we have trust issues. Up next, number 4 is The Notebook. The ending scene in this movie brings both tears of sadness, but also tears of joy. It's one of the cutest romantic movies out there, but also sad because their story does come to an end. Throughout the entire movie, we watch the love story unfold between Ali and Noah, who is later revealed to be the old couple at the retirement home, reading the actual love story throughout the entire movie. A twist ending that showed us their love never dies and that they always found a way back to each other. Although the ending is really happy because Ali realizes that it's Noah in front of her, they end up cuddling up together, holding hands, and dying together in their bed.
Good night.
Good night. I'll be seeing you.
Noah ends up telling Ali, "I'll be seeing you," as a way of saying that he's going to see her in heaven where their love will continue. I want love like this. Making its way into the 3rd spot is The Last Song. I selfishly picked this one for my own personal reasons because this movie scene got me the most. If you've followed this channel for a while, then you will know that I am a big Miley Cyrus fan, but I promise that is not why I picked this scene. She actually did this scene justice. It's really freaking sad. In the scene, her dad is diagnosed with cancer and she is seeing him for the first time in his hospital bed. She is an emotional mess and she ends up crying out for her dad and crawling into his hospital bed with him.
Sweetie, I love you too.
Love you, Daddy.
Honestly, it gives me the chills every time because there's just something about a father-daughter bond that is so special, and watching that scene is just, it kills me. It's so sad. Taking over the 2nd spot is the finale of Fast and Furious 7. One of the leads in the franchise, Paul Walker, died tragically in a car accident back in 2013. They were in the process of filming the 7th movie of the series when he had passed, so his brother actually had to step in to finish his finale scenes, which is pretty remarkable. The finale of the movie was incredibly emotional because we knew that when the cast was getting emotional, they weren't acting, they were actually mourning the death of their co-star.
You'll always be with me.
Change the game without even knowing.
And you'll always be my brother.
In the final moment of the movie, you get one final glimpse of Paul behind the wheel, but it was actually his brother. Fans of the franchise knew that this was the last moment of not only his character, but him as an actor. I cry every time I watch it, even when I went back in the script and watched it. Winning spot number 1 is the scene from Sophie's Choice. If you haven't seen the legendary movie, it tells a story of a man named Stingo who moves to Brooklyn in 1947 to pursue writing his first novel. He meets a woman named Sophie, who is played by Meryl Streep, and learns that she is a Holocaust survivor. Flashbacks of what she went through in Auschwitz helps him write his story. While she was imprisoned in the Nazi concentration camp, she was given an impossible choice by one of the guards. She had 2 children, a daughter and a son, and she was given the choice to pick one of them to live. She had to choose which one would stay alive while the other one is gassed to death, and if she didn't choose, then she would have to watch both of them die.
Wie bitte?
Du kannst eins von den Kindern behalten. Das andere muss weg.
Wollen Sie mir sagen, dass ich wählen muss?
You don't even have to be a parent to know that this choice is literally impossible and sick, but she does end up choosing, and it is gut-wrenching to watch. I won't ruin it, I will not tell you who she chooses, but she does choose, and it's awful. All right, guys, I'm kind of done with being sad. So that is the list of the saddest movie scenes of all time. Give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and let me know in the comments which movie scene is saddest for you. While you're doing that, I'm going to show some comments from times Dr. Phil lost it on his show. Kristen Owen says, not the biggest fan of his. He's not even a real doctor, right? No, he actually does have a certificate. He actually did go to school and has, he is a doctor. I know that. I don't know what kind, but he does have proof. Samantha Alvarado Verte says, it's a shame you guys didn't show any footage. All right, guys, I did see a lot of these comments, but please understand that sometimes we can't for copyright issues. That's all. Leah Figure says, okay, I normally don't really care for the bloopers part, but the sound you kept making really cracked me up. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed those ones. I do make a lot of weird sounds. You can ask my roommate. Tap Sweet Top 10 says, the host looks like the Cash Me Outside girl. Excuse me? No, don't say that. I do not look like her. At least I hope I don't look like her. Pretty girl, but behavior? All right, guys, I am getting out of here. Let me know what you're thinking in those comments. You might get a shout out in our next video. And make sure you subscribe and ring the bell so that you never miss another one of our videos. I'm your host, Joss. I will see you in the next one. I'm ruining a lot of movies for people here. Then to the end of the movie. What is that noise? That is weird. Hello, phone. I want love like this. Although I want to die first. That way I don't have to deal with that. Taking over the second. Ow, my hair. That's sad. I won't cry though. You will not see me cry. I said that really weird. Kristen Owen says, not... Hello.